right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power, and the finals for the Muscle Contest Nationals in Brazil just wrapped up. So we have the results. GoodVito, Vitali Ugonikov, the Russian bodybuilding phenom, has won his IFBB Pro card. So he successfully competed in regionals, qualified for this pro qualifier, and won this show in very impressive fashion. So how did he look overall? I thought he looked really good at prejudging. So this was a morning and night show. So in the morning, I think he looked pretty good. I think actually in the prejudging shots, he looked tighter than he wound up looking in the night show. I do feel like he faded a little bit for the final. So the way this worked was he won his class, which I believe was the super heavyweight class. And then after winning the super heavyweight class, he went on to compete in obviously the final pose down with the winners of each class. So you had all the different weight classes in that final pose down for the overall. And the overall winner is the one that gets the pro card, not a pro card for each class. And I actually thought this was really competitive because I thought after he won the super heavyweight class, I thought he would just hands down win the overall pose down. But that wasn't the case. There was actually a guy that was a weight class below him that really gave him a run for his money. And honestly, you got to give props to the Gundy brothers and Muscle Contest for how impressive these shows have really become internationally. Because remember, this was an amateur show. Even though it was a pro qualifier, these were amateur bodybuilders. But the caliber was so good, especially in that final pose down. And then they did a top two with just the two of them. It was like I was watching a pro show. I mean, it looked pretty heated between them. There was a little bit of uncomfortable awkwardness between them while they were posing. They kept kind of giving kind of dirty looks at each other while they were posing. And I think it was really close, even though GoodVito was overwhelmingly big and won the heaviest category. The guy that was technically smaller than him and weighed less than him, he was really competitive with Vito. And like I said, I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that GoodVito's conditioning faded a little bit for the finals. I think he could have came in sharper for sure. But GoodVito is just overwhelmingly massive. And again, I think one of the most impressive things about his physique that we saw here was not only the size of his legs, but the separation in detail in the size of his legs. It's just extremely hard to overcome. And I think that's where he edged out the guy that he wound up beating. Is his legs were just so much bigger and they were more detailed and more defined, and that even further accentuates the really good structure that GoodVito has. I mean, he's got a very small waist, and the legs flaring out like that gives him this X-frame effect. He's got these wide flaring lats. He's got a really wide back, which gives him the good V-taper into a small waist. But then having legs that big and a waist that small just it even further accentuates that. I think that's what makes him so impressive. So this was a really fun show to watch. And again, props to the Muscle Contest for what they've been able to do internationally with the Pro League and with the amateur leagues that they have. Because like I said, this was almost as enjoyable as watching a pro competition. These were two extremely high caliber bodybuilders. And I honestly, for a minute, I was kind of afraid that GoodVito wasn't going to win. I think it was that close between them. And I'm actually rather curious to see what GoodVito's next step is going to be. Because as you guys know, there are still some pro shows remaining for the rest of the year that could be an opportunity for him to qualify early for next year's Olympia, which I think would be an ideal situation for him and give him some time to improve and have basically the whole year to train for that Olympia. So we could see him compete in a pro show in the very near future before the end of the year and try to nab an early qualification, because I think that would probably be his best game plan. But I do think, similar to Crizzo, I would like to see him come in a lot tighter as a pro in whatever pro show he does choose to do, because in the same sense as Crizzo, he is a mass monster. He's got a tremendous amount of size. His legs are crazy, but I still think the conditioning could be tighter. Even though I think he looked really good, especially at prejudging, I think he was tighter than we saw Crizzo look. But I do think he faded significantly for the night show. I want to emphasize that because that's something that it is going to hurt him in a pro show. But I think he's doing all the right things, and I think he's taking his bodybuilding career very seriously because of the fact that he's from Russia. And I think the main reason why he moved to Brazil was to facilitate him being able to compete and qualify and travel to pro shows that are going to be in the States and other countries that maybe might have restricted travel from Russia. So I think him moving to Brazil at the time that he did was a really good career move for him. And I think it shows how seriously he's taking this, because he knows that he's going to have to be able to travel to the pro competitions if he does earn his pro card, which he did. So I'm definitely anticipating seeing him on a pro stage in the near future, because you also have to consider the fact that it presents a unique opportunity right now, because most of the top pros, there's 36 pros right now, already qualified for the 2022 Mr. Olympia. And most of the top guys are focusing on the Olympia. We're probably not going to be seeing anybody that's in the Olympia lineup compete at any of the shows that are happening during the rest of the year. So in theory, you wouldn't have a crazy deep lineup where some, a top tier A-list bodybuilder is going to beat GoodVito. So this would be kind of a sweet spot for him to try to qualify at one of these upcoming shows when he knows most of the top guys are not going to be there. For example, tomorrow you've got the Big Man Pro Show, and while there's a couple relatively bigger names, it's still more of a B or C list bodybuilding show because most of the top guys are already going to the Olympia. They're not going to bother with a show in Spain a couple weeks before. But let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below. I thought this was a really impressive show. I thought GoodVito looked really impressive, and I do think overall he did deserve the pro card. So let me know what you guys think. Give a like on the video. Make sure you leave a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. All that stuff helps out tremendously. And make sure you guys stay tuned because tonight will be my Olympia prediction video at 3 weeks out. So stay tuned for that. And that's going to wrap it up for the video. As always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power. Signing out. All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at Nick Strength Power. My Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power. My secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel. And consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.